You're green.
I am.
Everyone thinks the story of Oz begins with a little girl in a blue dress, but it actually starts long before Dorothy ever fell from the sky. For years, we've seen two different versions of this world: the bright, colorful fairy tale from The Wizard of Oz and the darker, more complicated truth from Wicked. And now that Wicked for Good is officially in theaters, there's never been a better time to finally put these stories together in the exact order they happened. Today, we're breaking down the complete Oz timeline, from the wizard's arrival and rise to power, moving into Elphaba's birth, the events of Shiz, Elphaba's defiance, the fall of the Wicked Witch, Dorothy's journey, and the hidden moments that happen after the ending of The Wizard of Oz.
Yes, I'm ready now. Then close your eyes and tap your heels together 3 times.
The Wizard's arrival. Oscar Diggs was a small-time circus magician in Kansas, charming, ambitious, but deeply insecure. One stormy night, as he tried to escape an angry crowd, he climbed into a hot air balloon. A tornado swallowed him whole and dropped him into a world his mind could barely comprehend. He crashed into a strange, vibrant land, Oz. The people saw him fall from the sky and immediately believed he was the mighty wizard their prophecy promised.
He can read it. He must be a wizard.
And Oscar didn't correct them. He enjoyed the attention, the power, the way everyone suddenly treated him like he mattered. So he allowed the lie to grow until the lie became a throne and he crowned himself the Wizard of Oz.
I am Oz, the great and terrible.
But he feared real magic, anyone who could do what he could only pretend to do. So he surrounded himself with loyalists, and among them was a powerful sorceress named Madame Morrible, who would enforce his rule through fear, manipulation, and propaganda.
Just what we hoped for, eyes in the skies.
Yes, they'll make perfect spies.
The birth of Elphaba. Some years passed, and in Munchkinland, a woman named Milena lived a troubled life with her husband Frex. One night, a mysterious traveling stranger visited her, and he brought with him a strange green elixir.
Have another drink, my dark-eyed beauty.
They had an affair, and when her baby was born, her skin was green. Frex was horrified by her, believing her color was a curse. Milena got pregnant again for Nessarose, and Frex forced her to take milk flowers. But they made Nessarose to be born too early, and Milena died in the process. Frex blamed Elphaba for everything and promised himself he'd never love her. All the affection, protection, and attention he gave to Elphaba's younger sister Nessarose.
I treasure any chance to see my dear daughter.
The events of Shiz University. Elphaba and Nessarose eventually arrive at Shiz University, a prestigious school in Oz. Elphaba is only there to take care of Nessa, but on their first day, she accidentally reveals her immense magical potential, and Madame Morrible immediately takes interest. This is also where she meets her new roommate, Glinda, a bubbly, popular, privileged girl who at first is horrible to Elphaba. They clash hard.
Loathing, unadulterated loathing.
As time passes through misunderstandings, vulnerability, and unlikely moments, the two girls become inseparable. Something Oz had never seen before, a golden girl and a green girl becoming friends. Meanwhile, the government begins silencing animals, intelligent creatures capable of speech. Elphaba, furious and empathetic, vows to help them and earn a meeting with the wizard. Elphaba's defiance. After Elphaba performs a powerful levitation spell in class, Madame Morrible writes to the wizard himself, and he sends her an invitation to the Emerald City. Elphaba is excited, and she invites Glinda to come with her.
Come with me.
What?
To meet the wizard.
I couldn't possibly. This is your moment. I'm coming.
They arrive in the Emerald City, and Elphaba is excited, hopeful, and fully convinced that meeting the wizard will help her. They're brought to the wizard's chamber, and he tells Elphaba he wants to make the world better, and that he needs her help, but then he tells her to prove herself with a spell. Madame Morrible arrives, and they show Elphaba the Grimoire, a powerful spellbook that only she can read. The book opens, and Elphaba starts casting a levitation spell on a pet monkey Chistery, but something goes horribly wrong. Chistery starts mutating, and wings burst out of his back. Then all the other monkeys start growing wings too, screaming and panicking. Elphaba is horrified. She realizes instantly that this wasn't an accident and the wizard planned this.
You have no real power.
Exactly. That's why I need you.
The wizard confesses that he has no real magic, and the flying monkeys were the beginning of his new army. Elphaba feels completely betrayed, and she realizes that the wizard is the reason animals are losing their voices in Oz. He's the cause of the corruption she's been noticing. Elphaba runs, steals the Grimoire, and locks herself in the tower. The guards surround the tower, so she levitates a broom and flies off to the west. Madame Morrible blasts an announcement across all of Oz, giving Elphaba the title, the Wicked Witch of the West. Glinda watches helplessly as her best friend disappears into the sky, officially declared a villain. The rise of the Wicked Witch. After Elphaba is declared wicked, Frex has a heart attack. Now here is where we enter Wicked for Good, which is where we see the events and characters from the Wizard of Oz come into the story. Nessarose becomes the new ruler of Munchkinland after her father died, and instead of being loving, she becomes feared, and at the same time, she's trapped in a painful love mess. Nessa loves Bach deeply, but Bach doesn't love her at all. He only stays with her out of pity. Bach actually loves Glinda, but Glinda doesn't want him. She's focused on Fiyero, who doesn't truly care for her because he's falling for Elphaba. Elphaba sneaks into Munchkinland, hoping Nessa will hide her or protect her somehow, but Nessa, angry and feeling abandoned, refuses to help her. Instead, she begs Elphaba to use magic to let her move freely like everyone else. In the original story, Elphaba makes her walk, but here in Wicked for Good, they're trying to respect disability representation, so Elphaba enchants Nessa's silver slippers and gives her the power to fly. Nessa is overwhelmed with joy, believing this means everything will finally be okay. Bach destroys that fantasy almost immediately. When he sees her flying, he tells her she doesn't need him anymore, and that he wants to return to the girl he truly loved, Glinda.
I lost my heart to Glinda the moment I first saw her.
Lost your heart. Well, we'll see about that.
Nessa is heartbroken, and she tries to cast a spell to magically force Bach's heart to belong to her. The spell goes wrong, and Bach's heart starts shrinking. Elphaba rushes in, and in order to save him, she transforms him into the Tin Man. When Bach wakes up and sees what he's become, he's horrified and blames Elphaba forever.
What have you done to me?
And that's how we get the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz, the Scarecrow. Fiyero, the carefree prince from Shiz, betrays the wizard and falls in love with Elphaba, but the wizard's guards capture him. To save him, Elphaba casts a desperate, powerful spell that transforms him into the Scarecrow, a body that can't feel pain. Dorothy's journey. This is the part of the movie where the Wizard of Oz begins and where their stories really start to intersect. Madame Morrible and the wizard are trying to lure Elphaba out of hiding, and Glinda, trying to help but not realizing the consequences, accidentally suggests that the only thing Elphaba might come back for is her sister Nessarose. Morrible hears this and twists it into a plan. She summons a tornado that brings Dorothy's house from Oz and crushes Nessarose.
The Munchkins call me because a new witch has just dropped a house on the Wicked Witch of the East.
The Munchkins are celebrating Nessa's death, and Glinda gives Dorothy Nessarose's enchanted silver slippers, which were ruby in the original movie, but changed here because Warner Brothers owns the ruby design, and sends her off to see the wizard. On her journey, she meets the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion, who join her on her journey. The wizard asks them to bring him Elphaba's broomstick, which leads to Dorothy pouring water on the Wicked Witch and melting her. But in the Wicked for Good story, the people of Oz only think water melts Elphaba.
The direct result of a bucket of water thrown by a female child.
Post-Wizard of Oz. After Dorothy defeats the Wicked Witch and heads home with Toto, that's where the Wizard of Oz story ends. But the story of Wicked still continues for a bit after that. Glinda discovers the green elixir bottle at Elphaba's melted puddle and puts together that the wizard is Elphaba's biological father. Then she dethrones the wizard and imprisons Madame Morrible and becomes the new ruler of Oz. Meanwhile, it's revealed that Elphaba didn't melt, she hid under a trapdoor and escapes with Fiyero to live happily ever after.